So if you ever feel like you're antisocial or you don't really stick into certain things, that's actually not a bad thing. Like there is this reality where for a lot of people, we feel depleted. We feel like our energy is gone or we're doing too much or spending too much time in certain places and you feel like going home. And there's actually psychology behind this, why it's actually a good thing that you want to be a homebody, why you don't feel like you need to be extra in different places. Now, there are people who thrive in this. There are people whose their personality, they're really extroverted. So they're really good in being in crowds of people, but there's something that's happening underneath every layer. Now, this is not universal across everyone's scale. There are different people and different things, but for most people, the reason that we feel so depleted, the reason that we feel like we need to go home or we'd rather be home or rather spend time or recharge is not necessarily that you do not like people or you do not like the environments, but it is not feeding something internal in you. And we have learned, whether consciously or subconsciously, to adapt how we are to the environments that we're in. So there are people who have learned that they can go out and they can be around certain people, they can do certain things, but it really draws a lot of their energy that they have left. It's good to feel as if you should not be in everything. It's good to sometimes just spend time recharging it on your own. And there's a truth that we have to come to terms with, that we won't be everything like everyone else. Everyone is different. There's all these types of different personalities. Like there's extroverted people, introverted, ambiverts. There's a new one that just came out, which is actually something I believe I am, which I'm very good at being in front of people and being in front of crowds, but I take a lot of pride in my alone time. Like I prefer to spend time alone because there's something about recharging in that. And it's bad in one sense because we tend to be reclusive. This is where we take it to an extreme, where we don't ever want to be around people, where we're just consciously enjoying our own company, yes, but also actively rejecting certain things. So we need to find that balance. And the only way we find balance is by being able to identify why we feel that way. It's a good thing that you want to spend time alone. It's a good thing that you want to recharge because that means that you're secure in who you are. It also means that you can fill the gaps that you have on your own. Now, there's certain circumstances where people are doing that because of trauma, where they're afraid to be around other people, where they just are so tired of so many things. And it's okay to be tired. Like this is something we don't consciously say. It's okay to feel like you don't need to be in every mix, that you don't need to be around every person, that you don't have to be involved in everything. It's okay to want to just spend time alone and just spend time in your own company. It's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing when we're doing it to actively avoid people, not because it's time for us, but because we are just so disconnected from people. This is where the problems creep in, where we become this island where we don't allow anyone else to reach us. And we create this separation between what we need and what we want and who we actually are. And it's not a bad thing to spend time and disassociate with everything else, but it is a bad thing to make it everything you are. If you make that your entire personality, your whole life, you won't be able to heal the things that you need to heal because you're creating something in you that shouldn't be in you. That is a very specific place and specific people. And people are struggling with so many things that we can't identify everything and everyone, but we can't identify those characteristics where if it becomes a problem, like it's not just you're recharging, it's not you're spending time focusing on you, it's not that you're getting better at something, it's that you are actively avoiding things because you are so, all you're doing is then creating something where you're isolated. That's the extreme. And I know people suffer so many things and they're going through so much, but you can't make that your center point. You can't make that your whole personality. There are people who that's all they identify as because that's all they ever believed they were. I want to highlight that because we need to understand that that's the extreme, that's the bad, that's the reality for some people. Now, why is it good? Why is it good to spend time on your own? Because there is something about being able to build without needing outward influence or outward validation or people to just sit there and just say, okay, this is amazing. No, if you are able to build on your own, are able to spend time alone, if you're able to just put yourself in a place where you do what you need to do, there's something powerful that happens. It allows us to build this rootedness, this groundedness in what we need to do. So seclusion, time of solitude, time where you're just you with no one else around is actually a good thing. And it's going to be edifying to you to know that you are good on your own without people around. Now, again, I don't want to say that that's a complete character trait because I don't want anyone to listen to this, and if anyone does and takes it out of character and says, well, you know what, me being isolated always is good. That's not good. You need community. You need people. You need to be fed in that way. But also, you do need your time to just be you. One of the greatest things that you will ever do is lock in. And what I mean by that is not need validation from outside, not need to be in front of people, not need to connect with people, not do a thing. Not that you don't love people and not that you don't spend time with people that you care about, but there is a time where it is so important for you to focus on what needs to get done, because it's easy to be distracted by things that don't have power. That's all it has, is distraction. So that's why it's so important for us to be able to build that, right? Be able to have that root and know that we can go to that. Now, in that same breath, it's good to have connections and relationships and grow with people, but sometimes you need this season of solitude, of seclusion, of just being alone. And it's good to do that. It's good to be able to go into that place, but not stay there, not make it everything you are from here on out. It's all right to allow yourself the space to be alone when you need to be.